Hey guys, it's Mo. I'm just hollering at you guys because something interesting just happened to me. Now I have a 12-year-old daughter, and this morning, out of the blue, come downstairs. She's doing online schooling because of the coronavirus, and last night we had a little discussion about tidying up after yourself after you're done. So, as every parent does, we get into it now and then with our kids because we want them to do better than they're currently doing. So she had a bowl where she had some cereal and she had some fruit, maybe some orange slices. So the only thing I did was when I went into the kitchen, I said, "Hey, when you get done, don't forget to put that stuff up. Don't forget to put it up." As we had a discussion the night before, because she hadn't done, or all of my kids haven't done what they're always expected to do, and that means cleaning up after yourself. So I get a little time just watching a little TV, pick up my phone, look at my text messages, and see a text from none other than my wife, who says, "Stop hollering at your daughter while she's trying to do homework." So immediately, I decide, let me call my daughter, because in my eyes, I didn't see this as hollering. I saw this as addressing the situation before she got a chance to actually leave her dishes behind and go off to do something else after she finished what she was working on. And so the moral to this whole story is, when I bring my daughter down and I said, "Hey, I want you to read this," and she read the text, and she said, "Yeah, well, you were yelling at me while I was doing my homework." And I tried to remind her that, I'm not yelling at you while you're doing your homework. I'm kind of reminding you to do something that you're supposed to do when you're finished with your homework, because you normally don't do that. And, we went to a little bit of back and forth, and, I kind of understand a little bit about her not wanting to comply, because then it means, hey, dad's right. But at the same time, I wanted her to kind of understand that it's not because dad's right. It's because when you care about somebody, when you care about your kids, when you care about your spouse, when you care about anyone that's around you that means something to you, you want them to do the best that they can do. So you want them to live up to the potential that they have. So I tried to explain to my daughter that, hey, you know what? I love you. That's why I said the things that I did say. And that I wasn't hollering at you, because me hollering at you would be me standing in front of you and hollering at you. I was talking loud because you were sitting at a table and I was in the kitchen. So we were about 20 feet or 25 feet apart from one another. So me hollering at you, that's not what I'm trying to do. Because I'm never trying to bring you down a peg, never trying to make you feel less than you are. I'm trying to get a point across that I love you. And it's my job to remind you of things that maybe you're not doing correct. And the other thing that I'm trying to build is trust. You have to trust me that I wouldn't do anything that would jeopardize your future or your current situation, present, instant, right now. I try to say this to my daughter. If you have a teacher that's in school and you always think that teacher's harping on you, picking on you, and you think that, oh my God, she's just the worst teacher in the world because they are picking on me. They don't give me a break. Sometimes you have to take that and look beyond. Maybe that teacher sees that you are not taking the potential that you have and making the best use of it. So maybe they're trying to ride you a little bit harder so that you have to work a little bit harder, because if you work a little bit harder, then you'll be forced to dig into the potential that you have. instead of saying, I'm mad at the teacher. She just doesn't like me for whatever the reason. And a parent is always going to try and hope that the kids can live up to the potential that they have inside. So yeah, we might ride you a little bit harder. We might talk tough or what seems to be a little bit rough around the edges sometimes. But let it be known that a parent's job is to try to make their children succeed and live up to their full potential. So in this, I'm going to try and wrap it up. I tried to use this analogy to my daughter. You know, I lost my dad in September. And to me, one of the greatest men, well, not just men, yeah, but men, one of the greatest men I've ever met. Not just because he's my dad, but just because of his core values and who he was. And I tell my daughter that, you know, I lost my dad, and the one thing that I regret, the one thing that I miss, the one thing that is missing out of my life is hearing my dad's voice when he would holler at me and tell me what I'm not doing. Or when I'd say, hey, I did these 4 things today, and he'd say, son, you haven't even scratched the surface. You don't even know what it's like to work hard. If you want to know what it's like to work hard, come spend a day with me. So I miss not hearing that voice, because those weren't words of discouragement. Those weren't words of, let me put you in your place. No, those were words that he was trying to say, hey, there's more to you than you realize. You can be better than you are. But it's up to you to take that step. It's up to you to heed my words. Everybody does a lot of talking. And it seems like we do a lot of talking about what we're going to do, what we could do, what we should do, the things that we missed out on because we weren't given an opportunity or we never had a chance. But at the same time, we're not taking advantage of the opportunities and the chances that we have that are right in front of us. So I don't know if a few parents or a few kids or a few young adults are listening to this, but I want to say to you, you know, do better, be better. Don't always think somebody's picking on you. Because sometimes in order to help you out, sometimes you need to be harder on yourselves. You know, sometimes you can't have everything that you want, because when you have a full stomach, what happens? You become comfortable, content, a little lazy. Why? Because you are full. But then you see the person that doesn't have enough in their belly, and you see how aggressive, how determined, how relentless they are to feed themselves. And sometimes they'll do whatever it takes just to do that, just to satisfy that urge. So I don't know, but I don't think it's called being too tough on you. I think it's called love, tough love. And if you can't handle that, then it's going to be a long road. I mean, a real long road. I'm out of here. You know, I hope that some of you people that, you know, listen to this, I hope it strikes a chord with somebody. And if it only strikes a chord with one person, then guess what? That's one less person that will have not forgot or not thought enough of themselves to tap into their own potential. This is Mo. It's the end of March, and this coronavirus is really something. So I'm going to end this with, I want everybody to be safe. I want everybody to practice what we're supposed to be preaching right now, and that's called social distancing, cleansing, sanitizing, and just, you know, keeping yourself intact. There are kids, there are infants dying all over the world because we don't want to accept life has changed. Life has changed, and maybe it's for the good, because maybe we have to pay a little bit more attention than we have in the past. And I'm not saying maybe it's good that people are dying and people are suffering, because that's never good for nobody. Never. And I would never condone that statement. What I'm saying is that sometimes we have to recalibrate, and we have to look at things and find a way to do things a little bit better than we did in the past. And if we do that, we can avoid the things that we're going through currently. So stay inside if you must. Go to the store if you have to. Help out a neighbor. Help out an elderly person. Do something for somebody that can't do for themselves. Make somebody laugh. Write someone a letter. Send them an email, an Instagram. Do something. It's not about you, it's not about me, but it's about each other. So God bless. I love everybody out there. If you like what you hear, hey, you can subscribe. If you don't like what you hear, you don't have to subscribe. But I'm going to keep on putting messages out there. And maybe somebody will pick it up. Maybe somebody won't. Maybe there'll be some words of encouragement for a few people, and maybe there won't. But if you can be better than you were yesterday, guess what? You're on your way to being the best person you can be. God bless you. Love you.